and can just be. And sinking into silence. Allowing ourselves to turn off the radio of the world and the worldly concerns. Unplugging whatever it is we need to unplug. And turning off whatever we need to turn off, and letting go of whatever we need to let go of. Allowing ourselves just to be for a moment. Just to rest in this present moment as we are. With whatever is going on in our lives, we bring it all with us and let it be. So that we can find and rest in what's called this present moment. When our mind wanders off to worldly concerns, just recognizing that and releasing it and returning. Allowing ourselves just to be here for a little while. Allowing to accept ourselves and the world and this present moment just as it is at the moment. Being here, being present for it all. And settling into this and letting go as best you can of any resistance. taking our place, our presence amidst the hustle and bustle of the world, this place of stillness. And as thoughts arise, simply letting them float on through. And now there are valid concerns for things in the world, but letting them go for the time being. We'll get back to them soon enough. And settling into this present moment space, and each time the mind wanders, simply releasing, recognizing, releasing, and returning. And then beginning the body scan, bringing to mind, bringing your awareness to your left foot, to the big toe. And considering that both the meditation, the mindfulness, and this body scan are an act of compassion. Providing ourselves with something that sometimes only we can provide for ourselves. Expressing appreciation and caring, perhaps even a sense of wonder. As we become aware of and turn our awareness to this physical body that we have. That provides us a location in this life, an embodiment of us in our worldly comings and goings. And so with the left toe, big toe, approaching perhaps with a sense of curiosity. What do we really need to know about the big toe? What's there? Is there any discomfort? Is it asking for compassion? Or just appreciation? It lifts us off the ground every time we take a step. And yet right now it doesn't look like it's doing much of anything. It's just being also. But performs well when needed. And extending our awareness to the other toes on the left foot. Where we find the same thing. Without these toes, life would be a lot more difficult and a lot less fun. And extending our awareness from the toes into the foot itself, the top of the foot and the sole of the foot. Perhaps seeing it as if you're seeing it for the very first time. And perhaps curiosity about how all that seems to work. How amazing it is as a toddler is learning to walk. How the feet move. And we've taken quite a few steps in this life up to this point by virtue of our feet. Provides us a standing in the world. And even though there may be pain, or may not work so well at times, this goes for any part of the body, it's still pretty miraculous. And extending our awareness up into the ankle of the foot, the heel and the ankle. Even more complex is the ankle. And thinking with all this bones and connective tissue and muscles, how it allows us to walk and to stand and to dance. And bringing our awareness further up into the lower leg, the calf and the shin bone. As if perhaps seeing it for the first time. And in a very real sense we are, because even though the differences are minuscule, this is not the same lower leg that we had yet. It's not yesterday's lower leg. It's the lower leg right now, which is different than yesterday's, a little bit. More blood has flown through, there's been more muscle activity, been more places. In a real sense, we've never been aware of this particular leg ever before. And extending up into the knee. And even if there's difficulties there, if there's pain, seeing if we can just let it be for the moment. And if there is pain, bringing a little kindness in, a little compassion in. And letting that warmth and caring settle into the joint. And again, extending our awareness all the way from the toes, foot, low ankle, heel, lower leg, knee, up into the upper leg, the thigh, the muscles, the weight, providing the real power of walking. Which does most of the hard work. And again, extending the awareness up into the hips. Both the right and left sides, the whole region of the hips, often a problematic area. Simply accepting it as it is, whatever may be, and flooding it with compassion. For in the end, we're just human. And this is the human experience. And allowing that warmth and caring and wisdom settle in. Letting it soak in to the hips. And for now, as best you can, letting it simply be okay, present as it is. And bringing our awareness to the big toe on the right foot. How it seems identical to the big toe on the left foot, except it's different. And how come there's a right and left anyway? We have these mirror image big toes. And noticing if there's any complaints there. Or it's okay with just being. And allowing yourself a bit of wonder. How did this all happen that we have big toes? And bringing our awareness to the other toes, the rest of the toes on the right foot. The same awareness we applied to the left is here in the right foot. And realizing how seemingly innocuous the toes are, but what a vital role they play in our overall being. Even though most of the time we don't think so. And extending awareness from the toes up into the foot, down into the sole of the foot and the top of the foot, all those tiny bones and fascia and muscles. That seems to all work together like a little symphony every time we walk. And extending our awareness to the heel and the ankle. Even more miraculous. And perhaps providing a sense of appreciation. Sorry about that, folks. Wasn't my fault. So bringing the awareness up into the ankle and the heel. And extending up into the calf, the muscles of the calf on the back and the shin bone in front. So our awareness all the way from the big toe and the little toes and through the foot, the sole and the top of the foot, the heel and the ankle, up into the calf, the lower leg. Perhaps getting a sense of its construction, that it's hard and vulnerable on the front and soft and muscular on the back. And somehow that seems to work just fine. And extending up into the knee, the joint, the back and the front of the joint. And again, if there's any discomfort or pain, if you can, simply letting it be as it is. And continue to appreciate it as it is, affording us a unique level of mobility. And extending again the awareness up into the thigh. And large, heavy muscle propelling us through life. Connecting with the awareness in the hips. And bringing that awareness from the hips up into the abdomen. All the activity of digestion is the liver and the kidneys, the lungs, spleen, appendix, large and small colon, just keeping us alive every split second of every moment, doing its job. And bringing the warmth of wonder and caring to this operation, this little bio factory going on here. And as best you can, suffusing the area with the warmth of light and compassion, the essence of awareness. And also noticing the back as well, the spine coming up from the hips and the buttocks. Sort of the dark side of the moon. But yet it allows us to stand and to walk, to bend down and pick things up, lean from side to side. And allowing our awareness to continue to extend all the way up into our upper chest. and up to the top of the spine, in the back as well, at the same time. And as best we can, bringing a sense of caring and wonder. And bringing our awareness now to the thumb on the right hand and the left hand. How similar it is in many ways to the big toe on the right and left foot. And each of the other 4 fingers on each hand. That allows us to do so much, to experience the world in unique ways, and to bring meaning into our lives and the lives of those around us. And extending that awareness into the palm. And how important the palms are. And all the bones in the knuckles and the back of the hand. And how when we're caring about somebody or welcoming them, it's palms up. And we want someone to stop, we put up our palms saying, stop. Or we wave people on to greet them. And bring our awareness from the hands into the wrist. Just very much like the ankle, similar function. And up into the lower arms, simultaneously, both right and left, that allow us to move our hands about. And the elbows, and the upper arm, and now the whole arm with all its many parts seems a single unit, allowing us to be able to do many, many things. from giving someone a hug to throwing a baseball to dancing, preparing food, a multitude of things we do in the world. And bringing the awareness up into the neck from both sides. And that's where our throat is, and also the esophagus. It's how the food gets from our chewing it up into the tummy, and how the air, breath by breath, enters and leaves the lungs. That's where our voice is. Getting a sense of the outside and the inside of the lungs, of the throat. It allows us to talk and to sing. And to sustain ourselves with food. And the life-giving breath, moment by moment. And up into the jaw. And allowing our awareness to come up further into the face, into our cheeks. And into the cheekbones and the nose. And the lips. The lips where we eat and talk and kiss and chew. Where it allows us to give somebody a raspberry if we need to. To make vowel sounds. Very sensitive. And continuing to extend the awareness up through the mouth, complex area, chewing and talking. And up from the cheekbones into the eyes and the eye sockets. And the eyes, a miraculous organ. We perhaps learn more from the eyes than any other sense. we can appreciate all the wondrous things around us as well as the dangers. We have reading and beauty. Helps us to see the night sky. And our loved ones approaching. And continuing to bring our awareness up to the eyebrows, into the forehead, into the whole skull. And noticing the hair growing out of the skull. And getting some idea about bringing our awareness into what's inside the skull, whatever we may see there. Phenomenally complex place, but it gives us the gift of life and awareness. As does our hearing and our ears. Helping us hear sound and danger, and music, and thunder, and lightning, and rain. And now getting a sense of the awareness as it is in your whole body. Filling up every part of the body, even the tiniest little spaces. And somehow it all works together. Giving us our ability to be human. And to experience life however it is that we experience life. And the opportunity to grow into greater meaning and purpose if we choose. And coming to rest in the completion of this exercise, this meditation. And returning to the present moment awareness as we let the awareness that we've just imbued every part of our body with settle in, absorb the feelings, the complexities, the freedoms and the limitations it provides. The joys and the sadness. Doing its very best to whatever capacity it has. allowing this caring and sense of wonder to settle in, allowing the body to absorb this, savoring it, so that in a moment when the bell rings again, you can bring this with you as you go about your day and come back to it at any time.